Shane Bigham. Chinese and U.S. defense departments are working to resume high-level communications. It comes after the two countries agreed in San Francisco earlier this month to restart military talks and ease tensions. Chinese Defense Ministry spokesperson Wu Qian says the two sides are maintaining communications and coordination to work towards that goal. He also says China is ready to push for a healthy and stable development of military ties, along with the United States. Former U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger has died at his home in Connecticut at the age of 100. His consulting firm, Kissinger Associates, announced his death on Wednesday. Chinese President Xi Jinping has sent deep condolences to U.S. President Joe Biden over Kissinger's passing. Xi Jinping and Premier Li Cheng also expressed condolences to the Kissinger family. Edith Tianshan has more.
The news came through a statement from his consulting firm, Kissinger Associates. We understand that he lost his life on Wednesday at his home in Connecticut, but a cause of death was not provided. And of course, we know him, in his prime years, he worked as a Secretary of State and a National Security Advisor to Presidents Richard Nixon, President Gerald Ford. He played a major role, even behind the scenes, as some would say, in building relations back in the days, both with the Soviet Union as well as major Arab nations and China. So he was really the architect of this global diplomacy, one could say.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi will travel to Vietnam for a high-level meeting on Friday and Saturday. He will attend the 15th meeting of the China-Vietnam Steering Committee for Bilateral Cooperation. The 28th Annual United Nations Climate Meeting is kicked off in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. World leaders, government representatives, and delegates from around the globe will be hammering out measures to limit the unwanted consequences of climate change. Reining in fossil fuels and carbon emissions will top the agenda of the 13-day COP28 summit. Israel and Hamas have agreed to extend their truce by one more day, minutes before the first extension was due to expire. Israel's military says the truce will continue as mediators seek to release more hostages held in Gaza in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. The six-day truce had previously been extended from its initial 4 days. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's in Tel Aviv to meet Israeli leaders. This is his third trip to the region since the conflict began. Noor Harazin has more from Gaza.
Yes, the delay of this extension shows that the negotiations are getting more difficult. At 7 a.m. this morning, the truce was due to expire. However, just 5 minutes before, exactly 6:55, both Israel and Hamas announced that they will be extending the truce for one more day on the same conditions. Hamas, from its side, will be releasing 6 children, 2 women, and the bodies of 3 Israelis that were killed in Gaza during the heavy Israeli shelling and strikes over the past 7 weeks. Medical aid and humanitarian aid will be allowed into the Gaza Strip today, while we will see the release of 33 Palestinian prisoners from the Israeli jails.
China's called for an immediate and sustained humanitarian truce and the implementation of UN resolutions to resolve the Israel-Palestine conflict. These were among the points made in a position paper issued on Thursday by the Chinese Foreign Ministry. It also called on the UN Security Council to demand the warring parties exercise restraint to avoid a further escalation of the conflict. China stressed violent attacks against civilians must stop and civilians should be protected as mandated by international law. Amazon's announced its own AI chatbot to help companies increase productivity. The bot is called Q. It can do things like summarize long documents or group chats. It can also answer customer queries, generate charts, analyze data, and help businesses with their coding needs. Amazon said it'll protect companies from copyright issues arising from the use of its bot. Beijing's National Center for the Performing Arts will stage around 100 performances in a month to mark the institution's 16th anniversary, which falls on December 22nd. Celebrations have kicked off with The Wild Rhododendron, the latest Chinese opera produced by the NCPA. The NCPA has been a focus in China for the world's performing arts since it opened in 2007, and it's attracted over 300,000 artists from over 800 performing art troupes around the world. And that's the news. I'm Shane Bigham.